Yo. What's going on? I see I got one viewer in here. Gonna give it a second before I get started. You know, stream starts at 7. It's not 7 yet. But you know, we in here. We ready to go. We about to do some open source contribution. That's where it's at, man. Thought I'd do jazz this time. I don't know, we'll see. Is it playing another song? Is it not going to play another song? Where's another song? Did it not want to go? Curious. Let's throw down another one. I don't like the start of the song. Let's do this one. Electro Cartoons Lamento Acústico. Maybe I gotta put a little song button in the bottom of the screen. We'll do that later. What's going on, Moose? Big respect. Gonna get started here in a little bit. You know, chat some interesting stuff. Keep the chat happening while I go get some water. I'll be right back. Yeah, man, you know, we blinging out here. Hell yeah, I got the chain. This was over $10 at Party City. Oh, this is some weird jazz. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, this is more free jazz. I hate free jazz. Let's do regular jazz. This is more like it. This is kind of moving. Okay. All right, well, someone left. I was just about to get started. So, what's going on, everyone? What's the plan for today, Big Streamer Man? Of course, the plan for today, it's to get this bad boy going. Is the chat box not showing up? The chat box should be showing up. Strange, it's not coming up. Doesn't matter. The plan is to get this bad boy going. We are doing some open source contributions. We're going into this Bark repo run by these TechRail people, which by the way, I've been through all their stuff now. It's really neat. This DevTA is a very interesting website. Apparently, it's taking over India by storm, and it's not loading. Well, that's not very good. You know, I was trying to come in here and talk a lot of good stuff about this, but it's down right now, so that's fun. But DevTA, it's this developer tools website. It just hosts like a whole bunch of, oh, I see, it's this. So it has all sorts of things, an API tester, http://npmail.com. Let's send a GET to it. Network error, all right. Let's try this. Well, that's really annoying. Anyway, it's got a base64 encoder, color picker, all sorts of neat stuff. These the people over at TechRail, you know, they're making good stuff. So this is kind of a useful project they have. They have some other projects out there. They're trying to get off the ground. Bark is one we'll be working on. They got all sorts of stuff. They're doing a password manager called Keysmith, where it stores your passwords encrypted in Google Drive, so that you don't have to worry about hosting it with someone that you don't already trust, which, you know, trusting Google is something everyone does, whether they like to or not, so you may as well not have to add anyone to your trust stuff. It's got a list of cool things. So I guess this one needs a little bit more contribution as well. But no, today we're working on Bark. So if you go into the issues, you will see there's one to, where is it? Create the raw function in the client to send a full Bark log model. So let me throw open my terminal. GitHub.com, npmail/Bark. This is my branch. Oh, this is my my fork, of course. So I'm going to git pull origin main. Make sure I'm up to date with origin. Then I'm going to git fetch all. This will fetch origin and upstream. Of course, upstream has stuff, so I'm going to git merge upstream/main. So this is fantastic. Now we are up to date. So I'm going to git push origin main. So now my my branch is up to date. So I'm going to do a git checkout -b. Let's call it raw. Let's see. Client direct send Bark log model. It's arbitrary, but you know, this is very descriptive. So what do we need to do? Right now, we just have the functions which accept a line of text. We also need a way that allows the user to send a full log struct, including the more data field, to the server. We need to create that function in the client. So we'll be working in the client today. cd client. Let's open up client.go. Client.go. So what you'll notice is this struct with 88 pointer bytes could be 72. I'm going to just change that. Let's rearrange fields on that bad boy, just so that my LSP is not complaining at all. So now that we're in here, it has a function that accepts a line of text, and I believe that is down here someplace. It's a function that's exposed in the API. I forget what it's called, though. The alert stuff. Remember a couple streams ago, I added the stuff that eventually became all of this. Let's see. Error, warn, notice, info, debug, default. And then you have the raw log, which accepts a raw log, which is, of course, accepts this. And did I miss something? Looks like this actually unironically just solves it. Curious. Try to parse the more data fields. So I think that might be the issue. More data, comma error, JSON object to object, raw log dot more data. Huh. Does this not do it? No, it wants a full Bark log model. So if you'll notice in the music stopped. How do I make it run forever? I don't want to have to keep clicking a new song every few minutes. Anyway. So we want this to accept the Bark log instead of the raw log. So the Bark log has all of these things. So this is interesting. So the raw log looks like this, and the Bark log looks nearly exactly the same, though if I go to references of this, it's only used in that one function to accept a raw log. So this may be prime for deletion once we figure out how to accept the Bark log itself. So let's go through here and see what else is going in the rest of this thing. So you have a print line, printf, panicf, alertf. This is all good stuff. It's just format versions of the old stuff. Then you have the client, of course. So what we need to do, is it me or is the overlay wigging out? I don't know. I think the overlay might be wigging out. I'm not actually sure about that. This might be busted. Who's to say? So what we need to do is... This is very strange, though. I don't know what's going on with this. I thought... What I need to do is probably git blame that and see where when that came in. Client.go. This is line 299. Let's take a look. When did this show up? I'm in the... That's what I want to blame. Okay, so they haven't messed with that stuff in a while. Line 299. So that was added 7 hours ago. They beat me to it. They beat me to it. Well, this is ruined. This is going to be my whole thing. So that's fun. .1x developer. Watch it, Jordy LaForge. All right, so now I got to come up with something else to do because it looks like this was already just taken care of and they forgot to close the issue. So that's great. It's opened 2 days ago and it was fixed 7 hours ago. Yeah, line 299. 7 hours ago. Raw log. Of course, there's one thing we could do. Instead of raw log, we could make it do a we can make the we could go into that raw log, and instead of make it be a struct that's exactly the same as all this stuff, we could just make it a models.barklog. So that's something. This is totally useless. I'm totally fucked. I didn't have a backup planned. So what we're going to do for this stream, git restore dot git checkout main. I'm just going to close out of this. And go back to play.date. We're getting back into it, boys. Today on the stream, what we're doing is we are working on building a client for my podcast for the playdate. So this is fantastic. So let's throw open this bad boy. vi source/main.c. So the first thing we have to do is understand precisely what's going on. So we got stdio, we got stdlib. Let's see what's in stdlib. I'm not exactly familiar with everything, so we're going to have to go through this line by line. Size T, wchar T, div T, idiv T, easy peasy. Null, exit failure, exit success, rand max, easy. Library functions, double A2F, okay, so this is a bunch of sound stuff. Unsigned log int stru, stirtool, const char, stir char, inputter, int base, converts string pointed to by the argument string to an unsigned long integer. Okay, neat. Calloc allocates the memory and returns a pointer to it. Very neat. Free deallocates memory. Malloc allocates requested memory and returns a pointer to it. Is that different from calloc? Oh, I see. So it's size and number of items or just size. That makes sense. So you can allocate, just one of something or a whole bunch of something. Oh, what's going on? I order 41D3N. Welcome to the chat. So let's see. Realloc attempts to resize memory block pointer by pointer that was previously allocated with the call to malloc or calloc. Fantastic. What else we got? We got all sorts of stuff in here. Gideon V. System. Pass to the host environment to be executed by the command processor. Neat. Qsort. Absolute. Div T. Int rand. Okay. That's not actually a whole lot of stuff. This isn't too bad. Wooktome examines the code which corresponds to a multi-byte character given by the argument wookar. All right, so we got stdio, stdlib, and then pd_api.h. That is documented in here inside Playdate with C. So we're going to be living in here for a while, boys. This is where it's at. Who's excited? Everybody sound off in the chat, all 6 of yous. So I think the first thing we should do is, I don't know, maybe we should print some text to it and get to scroll. Maybe we have text that overflows off the screen and then make it so you crank to scroll it. And then we'll go from there. Bubbly, cherry. They don't sponsor me, but, it'd be appreciated if they did. Crank that scroll. Dude, bro. You know I'm always cranking it, dude. Let's go. Let's go. So we're going to try to figure out how to crank scroll something here. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's split my window here, get a terminal going, make it a little smaller. And then what is it? Make to run it. Make it and then $, playdate SDK path, playdate simulator, hello world. So remember, this is how we run it. Prove that it runs. So it says hello world now. So let's see if we can make it say goodbye world. That'll be fun. Goodbye, cruel world. All right, so that clearly wasn't it. It still says hello world. So the question is, how do we make it not say hello world? Did I just forget to write that? Yeah. No, it didn't. All right, so this doesn't make any sense to me. I have no idea why I didn't change what it said. The word hello is nowhere to be found in this file. I may be not understanding how something in here works. Crank that shit like it's a poverty trim car window. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that. Graphics, clear, K color white. Graphics, set font. Graphics, draw text at the X and Y locations, which it starts with 400 minus text width divided by 2, 240 minus text height divided by 2. And then if X is greater than 0 or if X is less than 0 or X is greater than LCD columns minus text width. So it's going to be how far it is minus the text width. dx equals minus dx. So that means if you're at the end, you stop going in the direction in the x-axis. So the next one does the same thing on the y-axis. And then the dx and dy selects kind of which direction you're going. So if we change this to... So when we run this right now, it bounces and starts out going this direction. So then if we change this to a -1 and this to a -2, then it should be going the other direction to start. That's not what I want to do. I want to do make and, nope, and $side playdate SDK path / bin / playdate simulator / Oh, I see. Is it building at a different place? Is that why that's not working? Hello world.pdx. So that's what it's let's see. When I call so when I make, am I doing this wrong? No, it's making source build / pdx. So bin pdc SDK path home Nate playdate SDK source hello world.pdx. Where is it actually building this to? Start.pdx. RF start.pdx. Fantastic. I don't want to VI anything. I want to make, and it is at hello world.pdx. So that's going to be $, playdate hello world.pdx. Now it says it should be saying goodbye cruel world, and it's going the opposite direction. So we have code and it's working and we're doing something, which is fantastic, right? So we've modified the code. We're programming in this environment now. So what's happening now is I don't actually care about having the text move. So we're going to get rid of all of this text movement stuff. And I, frankly, don't care what the FPS is. So we're getting rid of that. So now, so we want to make, and then on a successful make, we run that bad boy. And there we go. So now we have some static text. It loads up in the middle, in the top. So what we want to do is get it to read out as text. I think that's pretty should be fairly simple. Though I have never built a front end in my life. So I might need some help here. I don't know. Let's see what the API says about text. There's a display, file system, graphics, fonts, and text. There we go. So you can draw the given text using the provided options. If no font has been set with set font, the default system font is Asheville Sans 14 Light. So you know what? That means we don't have to set a font. They do not have Markdown support. This is not what we're supposed to be doing at all. So let's get rid of the font path. And we're not going to load a font at all. And PD system error. Well, we're not actually going to be loading a font. We'll just use the font that's there. You set an update callback in the K-event handler system assumes the game is pure C and doesn't run any Lua code in the game. Fantastic. So that's, we do need this. So I guess this is called in the initializer. So we're looking for, if we look for key press, this will be interesting. So basically this update, use React, I definitely can't use React here. If you want to go out and make a project to get React working on the Playdate console, that would be fantastic. I would love to see that. I'd be so happy for you. So let's see. Playdate API. I don't even know that we need this. Oh, I see. Playdate API PD. That's what we're using here. So we still want to clear it. But I wonder if there's other K colors. K color black. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see what that looks like. All right, I don't know what I expected, but it is black, so that's fun. K color XOR clear black white. I guess white's the only option. So there we go, and it's not bold anymore, which I think this is better for like regular text. I don't know. This is gonna be a pain to read anyway. So it clears it out, sets the font, and then it draws the text. And of course, draw text. Takes in a string length, and I guess the encoding, ASCII encoding. I don't know what that is. I wonder if it's commented inside. No, it is not. It's just an int of value of 0. Let's try to figure out what that is. Control F, K, ASCII encoding. Oh, I see. Which the width of the given text in the given font. So what we probably want is, unironically, we're going to probably be using UTF-8 encoding eventually. Let's just KUTF-8 encoding. So X and Y, we're actually just going to do 0 and 0, and this all sounds like a hassle, so I'm just going to get rid of it and then replace X and Y with zeros. Because all we're trying to do is draw a paragraph at the top of the screen. So now we have goodbye cruel world at the top. So the question is, if I start at 0, 0, is it going to go all the way to the end and then wrap around? Or am I going to have to calculate how long the end is, print that many, and then tell it to go back to the front of the next line and do the same thing? So I suppose what we ought to do to figure that out is probably just put in a bunch of junk text in here. So let's make a, I don't know, just for easy, we'll do hashtag define junk text. This is good. Now we got some junk text. Let's get back up here. Is this? Oh, I see what's doing. So then we can just do change to double quote, and we'll put in junk text. And we'll get the string length of junk text. So hopefully it wraps, and then we don't even have to worry about it. Let's see what happens. Okay, it does not wrap. So the next thing to do is, of course, going to be figuring out how to make the text wrap. So let's take a look at all of the text writing functions and then go from there. Delicious. API reference, audio, graphics, fonts, and text. So you can get font height, so this will be necessary. We'll be using that definitely. LCD font page, get font page. Don't care. Font glyph, don't care. Glyph kerning, meh. Get text width. Turns the width of a given text in the following font. Okay. Oh, I see. So that's what's being used over here. Load font, make font from data, draw ellipse. That's geometry. Okay, so it looks like we might actually unironically just kind of be on our own here, which is fun. Clear the entire display, set background color when the display is offset. Get display frame bitmap, get frame. Boring. All right, so what we got to do is make it so that our junk text wraps around. So we're probably going to use this draw text a whole lot. So, let's just make a function. So let's do static int No, it's not even going to return an int. It's just going to be static. What does it return? Void. Do we want it to be static? What does static do in C? I don't know anything about C. Static function C. Oh, I guess it's C++. I don't know what's going on. Remember a function that can only use static data that is used to access only static data members. It cannot access non-static. What does static mean in C? Static variable remains in memory while the program is running. Normal or auto variable is destroyed when a function call where the variable was declared is over. For instance, we can use static int to count the number of times the function is called, but an auto variable can't be used for this purpose. Huh. I'm curious why this update function has to be static, but we don't need anything. So we'll call it void wrap text. Whoops. So then what we're probably going to do is... Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, what we probably want to do is just break down the text into a bunch of individual lines of the width of the screen, and then when we scroll, we'll switch which lines are being shown. I mean, as we scroll through, it will just have an offset through this two-dimensional array that updates, and then that's where we'll draw it at. So let's do... We probably want... Let's see. What function gets called when it starts up for the first time? That's probably when we want to do that. Static functions are restricted to the file in which they're defined. Okay, that makes sense. And luckily I'm not, this isn't advanced enough to need multiple files. So that's good. Arg is currently only used for event equals k event key press. Fun. Oh, so this is the init function. This is set up the update callback to the update function. Returns nothing. And so eventually we'll have to use this event handler to check when the crank is cranked. Wonder how that works. Utility functions, miscellaneous, audio, display graphics, input, accelerometer, crank. Get crank angle, get crank change, is crank docked. Ooh, this is good. Get crank changed. Turns the angle of the crank since the last time this function was called. I'm just curious to see what this does. So let's do experiment. Make them crank to scroll and make it play Soldier Boy. I could do that. I mean, I won't, but I could. That'd be fun. So let's see what's going on with this crank thing. So let's see. PD. Whoops. System. Get crank change. This returns a float. C change equals var. How do I make a how do I make a oh, I see what type it is. I say float C change equals that. I really don't know how to write C. This is kind of fun for me. Turn the music up. Oh shit, that's why I feel like I'm talking to myself here, because I can't hear anything going on. All right, float C change equals P system get crank change. And then what we want to do is turn that float into, we'll want to PD graphics draw text graphics draw text. I wonder if I can just draw a float. Draw bitmap lives. No, I can't do it. Draw text. And of course it needs 5, yeah. So we need to turn that float into a string. Printf. On first call, you can pass it a 0 length buffer and then return the length required to convert the floating point value into a string and allocate the required memory according to what it returned and then convert safety. Okay, so that's fun. Int len equals synprintf null 0% f C change char pointer to character pointer result equals malloc len plus 1 synprintf result len plus 1 percent f C change draw that text and then we'll do free result. So in this one we will put in that result len plus 1 k utafate encoding 0 0, except we don't want this at 0. Let's do this at like 10 10 and let's see if this works. I'm very curious to do this. I'm like playing around. Oh shoot, well now it's mad at me. Maybe I'm not supposed to use free. I think that might be something to do with I'm probably mallocing incorrectly. How to use the C API. This isn't going to help me. Building, initialization, utility functions, memory allocation. This is what I want. Playdate system realloc, logging, allocate heap size of pointer as null. Otherwise, reallocate the given pointer. If size is 0, then freeze the given pointer. So I guess I just need to realloc that. So reallocates given pointer. Playdate system realloc instead of malloc, maybe. PD system realloc. And that takes a size and the pointer. So char result. And then we want result len plus 1. Oh. Let's see if that works. It didn't work. Guys, I am not very good at writing C. I'm discovering. So this is, oh, look at this. Implicit conversion from float to double when passing argument to function. Well, I don't want that. Warning, result is uninitialized. Note, result was declared here. So these are warnings. Is there undefined reference to read? Undefined reference fstat is a TTY kill get PID. Why is it trying to use that stuff? This feels like things that aren't actual problems. This is This is a bunch of warnings. Huh. These errors all seem like... Why does it give me these errors? Got to get diesel in here. We really do have to get diesel in here. That's our problem. I do not have any idea why this is so mad at me. So it's trying to call close, seek. There's no reason it should be doing any of that. Warning, PDX has a load segment with RWX permissions. That's not a problem. Reference to close, seek, read, write. I'm not using any of these things. Kill, get PID. Huh. That's curious. So, well, since we're not actually doing this, I want to make sure that code still compiles if I get rid of all this stuff. And I understand that I could be adding all these comments in a way better way, but whatever. Let's try this again. Okay, so it definitely was a problem in there. So let's see which of these steps it doesn't like. Got no problem with that. So it seems to have a problem with this. So that's where it's got the problem in converting a float to a string. Floating point math operations. Well, that's fun. Cortex M7 processor using the playdate has support for single precision floating point operations like the float type, but not for double precision operations like the double type. When using double precision values, the compiler will emit code that emits double precision blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. C standard library has variants on its math functions. So interesting. I wonder if there legitimately is not a way to convert from floating point to string on the playdate. Maybe I just can't do that. Maybe instead of trying to do that, I can just do something like PD graphics play another song because it's not playing automatically. Draw. Let's do a line. Expected 6. All right. Let's get into graphics. Geometry. Ellipse line. There we go. Draws a line from x1 to y1, x1 to y1, y2 with a stroke of width. Are any of these a float? Got to get full markdown support. I know we need to get full markdown support, but I'm on some nonsense right now. CI/CD. Yeah. I wonder if I can. Does anything take a float? I just want to see it work. So we get float here. There's some JSON nonsense about floats. Turns the argument to float, push float, to Lua, sprites. Oh, I see. That's fun. Floats, collisions. I don't need any of that nonsense. Talking about floating point operations. Sound. Oh, I bet sound is dirty with float usage. That's probably what's going on. That's why they even have floats. LFO, envelope, yeah, all sorts of sound stuff. Set refresh rate. PD rect. Graphics draw scaled bitmap. Oh, interesting. So you can scale, rotate it. So you can fill, ellipse, get info, accelerometer stuff, and we're back to the crank. Sphere's pointing up, 360. So I wonder if I can. I want to just draw a line that that matches the position of the crank. Few arguments. Yeah. Graphics, miscellaneous. I want that. Let's see. Dry line. Draws a line from x1, y1 to x2, y2 with a stroke of width. Learning you some C for great good. Yeah, I don't know what I'm ever going to do with C anyway. So x1, I'm going to do 0, y1 is 0. Y2, I'm going to go with 20, 20. Width is going to be 4. PD. Graphics. K, color. Oh no, I don't have to do PD graphics. It's just K, color. I want Zor. So that'll work. So there, we got a line. What was I gonna do with this line? I was gonna make it match the crank. So let's move this to the middle of the screen. So this is gonna be new date. Is there like a screen? Screen. Find screen and match case. There's a constant. Ah, dang it. Width. I swear there's a constant defined that has the screen width. It was actually in the the example. So if I just go to if I throw open another terminal, change my wallpaper. Playdate / playdate SDK. Let's hop into C API. Examples. Hop into, what do we want to hop into? Hello world. Source. Oh, I guess they weren't defining it that way. I thought they were. 400 minus text width divided by 2. 400 minus text width divided by 2. Well, I'm not going to let that stop me. Hashtag define screen height. Hashtag define screen width. Screen height playdate console. This is beautiful. 400 by 240. The width is 400. Height is 240. So then we want this to be at screen width divided by 2. And this one we want at screen height divided by 2. Let's see if it draws it in the middle now. There we go. Oh, it's drawing the opposite direction I thought it would. And you'll notice it does not match the direction of the crank. So we will have to do some algebra here. So this will be fun. Let's do void hell nah. Yeah, algebra. I hate to say it. So let's see. It's y equals mx plus b, right? So we need to calculate. Oh, and it's like we're gonna need sine, cosine, pi, all those good stuff. Man, I really don't remember how to do algebra. So let's remember line with angle, algebra, whatever. M equals tangent of the angle. Okay. Do we have tangent? Do we get math? Tangent. All right. So we don't get math. Is there a math.h we can just bring in here? Include math.h. Fantastic. Void angle draw line. And this will take in a void let's make sure this matches the way they're doing it. Playdate API. This is totally not the wrong way to do right way to do this. Equals user data. All right, fantastic. Oh. So we'll need tan f of the playdate angle. So it's actually probably going to take in also the there we go. So we want to get the tangent of the something, tangent of the angle, which I guess that's going to be in radians. You know, x1, x2, endpoint. Y1 plus L sine A. Mx plus n equals y. M can be calculated by angle of the tangent angle, and if you know the start point, you can find n. So tangent angle times start point plus n equals start point y. Okay, so this won't be too bad. But first thing we need is the tangent of the angle that's passed in. So that's going to be angle, and that's going to be float angle. So tan f angle. Tan f returns a float. Tangle. So we're calling it float tangle, expecting semicolon at the end of the declaration. Oh, equals tangent of angle. So given that actually, you know what? Let's just do PD oh hell no, tangle. Yeah, dude, tangle. We're getting tangled up in this bitch. PD graphics draw line, and we'll do it in the middle. Screen whoops width divided by 2, screen height divided by 2, and then we need to figure out the end point based on that angle, and then I forget what that. Oh, that's the width. So then we need x, y. We'll go stick with 4. K color Zor, that's fine. So then X, so we're going to do int X equals int Y equals. So we just need to figure out what X and Y are for the ending portions of this. So let's get a online notebook. Oh, that's not what I want. Drawing board. All right, this is fantastic. So to draw a straight line, if the angle, oh, that's not even a straight line. To draw a straight, nope. There we go. To draw a straight line, if the angle is 0 degrees. So then from our origin point, we're just going to go straight across, and so it'll be add 20 to the x and 0 to the y. So then the tangent of the angle will give us the proportion of the, not the proportion. Damn, I'm really bad at geometry. I totally forgot how to do geometry. Does anyone in here remember geometry? This is scary. I'm not used to being bad at stuff like this. This is fun. Equation of a line is like this, calculated by the angle. So n equals start point y minus tangent of the angle times start point x. Okay. So we'll do n int, actually that'll probably be float. Float n equals start point y. So that's going to be screen width divided by 2. No, it's height divided by 2. Result of integer division used in floating point context. Oh, that's right. Is that a problem? Possible loss of precision. Oh, literally not a problem. I can do 2.0. Except I want F for floating point. You're gay. Thanks, Diesel. All right, so if you want to draw a line segment, you need to know the length and start point and the angle. I know all those things. There'll be two equations. First is m times x plus n equals y. Okay, so first off, m can be calculated by the angle. Tangent of angle times start point x plus n equals start point y. Okay. So it's going to be float in equals start point y minus tangle times, oops, minus tangle times end point y. Am I doing this wrong? I don't know the end point y. Well, that's the problem. Man, I don't understand what this is about. I seriously do not know geometry. This is why I never got into game dev, never got into making a game engine. This is awful. This is really bad. Tangent of an angle between line and x-axis b is the elevation of the line drawn through 0, 0. Line equation, given angle and point. You can easily calculate a since you know the angle, but you don't know b, but you know x0 and y0, so you can easily calculate b. Chat Jippity time. I don't have a Chat Jippity account. I'd be looking into it. Draw a line segment given point, angle, length. This is what we have: point, angle, and length. If we want to draw a segment from starting point, so its length is L and angle to the x-axis is phi, this is a totally different process. You should imagine a right-handed triangle whose acute angle positioned at 0, 0. Right angle triangle. You know, a hypotenuse L and angle phi. So by definition, A equals L cosine phi adjacent x. Okay. All you need to do is add xo and xy. Oh, well, that's really easy. Trying to do everything with tangent. What kind of an idiot am I? Nobody answered that. Not any kind of idiot. Fuck you. I thought you were the best programmer that ever lived. I'm using the worst language that ever existed. So, best programmer, worst language. This is like an immovable force hitting an unstoppable wall or whatever the heck. So, x1 equals x0, which is screen width divided by 2. Yeah. Hold on. There we go. Screen width divided by 2 times cosine of fi. So that's the angle. Angle L times, okay, length. So let's make the length 20 times that. And then x2 equals screen, not x2. This is y1. Let's do x0 equals this. Let's make this real easy. x0. y0 equals screen height divided by 2. y1 equals y1 times 20 times sine of the angle. Magic numbers. Oh, and I want all these to be float. Oh, I see. It's mad at this thing. So how do I turn an int to a float in C? Int to float C. Integer division truncates. You can cast to float. Multiply with 100 for double precision, or 100f for float precision first. That's a whole bunch of nonsense. Screen width. F. Oh, it actually just let that happen? All right, fantastic. Times 0.5 F. Invalid digit in decimal constant. .0 F. There we go. This is beautiful. So instead of screen width, we'll do x0, x1, no, y0, x1, y1, and we'll see if this works. Yeah. Thanks, Diesel. I literally figured that out before you said it. So this is painful. And let's take a look at this crank angle, and it's not doing it. That was useless. Except I'm not actually calling the angle draw line function. That explains it. angle, draw line, PD, and then actually I'm just gonna pass in user data, and then it's going to be PD system get crank angle. Don't need any of that. Don't need any of that. Why didn't it like me? Oh, there we go. Call to undeclared function. I have a function. What? Conflicting types? It's a void star. Isn't that what I want? A void star? ISO C9 and later do not support implicit function declarations. I don't know what that means. I'm going to Kangle equals this. Float Kangle equals that. Call to undeclared function. Oh, so I just need to do a function. Static void angle draw line. Angle draw line takes a void star called user data and a float. All I had to do was declare it. Now, it wanted radians, I think. Yeah, it definitely wanted radians, not degrees. This is definitely listed in degrees. So all we got to do is turn that into radians. Multiply it by pi and divide it by 180. We're going to do float angle rad. Fucking rad angle, dude. Rad angle. Angle rad equals angle times pi divided by 180. You love floating point operations. I mean, this is probably going to be running at unimaginable speed with all the floating point operations, and it still didn't do it. Oh, because I'm not using the new angle. Puh. Yeah, useless. So I want angle rad. I want it over here as well. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Here we are. Let's see it. Please work. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now look at that. This is exactly the behavior we wanted. I've done something horribly wrong. Windshield Wiper Simulator 2023. Yes. That's exactly what I meant to do. That's the game. It's Windshield Wiper Simulator 2023. Thunk, 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 thunk. This is painful. I do not like this. You know, everyone asks me when I tell them I'm a programmer, they're like, "Oh, are you really good at math?" And the answer is absolutely fucking not. I'm so bad at math. Am I doing this wrong? Pi radians are equal to 180 degrees. 1 degree is equal to 0.01745329252 radians. Ooh, what if I just take angle divided by 0.01745 and try that. Maybe there's too many steps and it's busted. Maybe this will do it. Nope, same thing. At worse, it's much worse. So that didn't work. Let's just undo that. Oh, and angle rad. You know, I was using the wrong sine and cosine function. Maybe this will solve it. It did not. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Give me 1 millisecond. All right, I'm back. All right, let's learn how to properly. Lesson learned: don't stream math. Yeah. Honestly, that's probably the play. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking this right. So the git crank, the crank thing. Where's the crank thing? Let's just search for crank. Crank. In the range 0 to 360, 0 is pointing up, and the value increases as the crank moves clockwise, as viewed from the right side of the device. So this is angle in degrees. So let's go to the next one. So we need to know math.h cosine function. This should float cosine f float argument. All right, computes the cosine of arg measured in radians. Okay, so arg has to be measured in radians. So if we look up convert degrees to radians, so you should literally be able to take degrees, multiply it by pi, and then divide that by 180 equals radians. And then x0 is in the middle of the screen, y0 is in the middle of the screen, and then to draw a line segment, just use 3JS. I don't think you understand that 3JS is, you know what, I'm not even going to get into it. I already tried 3JS, it didn't work. Anyway. So then let's do a right triangle calculations. So let's see. Trigonometry calculator. Let's see. Let's just look up the trig functions. Trig functions. Trigonometry. Okay. So let's get this going. So the side hypotenuse. So we're trying to make a. So we're trying to make this angle of at A, and then figure out the point at B. Oh. So the sine of A is a side opposite over the hypotenuse. Then we multiply that by the length, and that will get us B. I think. Well, we multiply the angle. Ah, fuck. What is... I am so bad at trig. I cannot remember. This is... Oh, man. I used to be good at this stuff, too. I used to be a huge math nerd. This is so painful. Oh, man. Maybe I should hide my chain just so I don't... Just out of embarrassment, honestly. This is pretty bad. So we have A, that's in the center of the screen. B is length we want. The angle is challenge of being too rich, TBH. You know what? I'm not gonna let this stop me. I'm gonna let my ignorance be out in the world just like my chain. That's how I do it. So I have this angle. And the side of angle A is going to be A over C. Wait. So this is going to be the vertical aspect of it. And then... So that's going to be Y, sine of that angle. And then the cosine is going to be the side adjacent over the hypotenuse. So it's going to be this. Don't need to know numbers when money is no object. That's right. Fuck numbers. All my homies hate numbers. So what am I doing wrong? Hmm. 20 is the length. X0 times 20 times the cosine of the angle. What if I just make this tangent? Just for funsies. Tanf. Alright, so tangent is not it. I'll make this also the sine. So I think cosine is right. So degree is 180 degrees. Zero is putting me on opposite sides. Degree at 270 is weirdly putting us in the corner, and at 90 is also putting us in the same corner. Huh. Does anyone know how this works? I don't even know what the point is with this. I'm just trying to use the crank. And I just wanted a quick and easy way to prove that I know how to use the crank. This is all busted. This math thing is not working out for me. Oh, I see. Very simple error. It's working now. That was easy. Guys, you have no idea how pissed I am right now. I am fuming. Oh man, that was dumb. All right, so now we got this bad boy working. So that was a learning experience. I don't even remember what I was doing. I learned so much though. What was the point of that? I didn't even want that. You know what? Just for funsies, let's do line length. Float line length equals 10.0 f line length, and I forgot to do a semicolon. Oh, line length. And actually, instead of doing that, what we'll do is do a good old global variable. Float static float line length equals 10.0 f semicolon, and then we'll do if, and then we'll check to see if the buttons were pressed, and I'll make the up arrow make the line longer, and the down arrow make the line smaller, the left arrow make the line thinner, and the right arrow make the line wider. So we have some like actual like functionality going to prove that I, just to get to using the buttons. I think that'll be interesting. Just to make sure we know how to use those. Graphics, input, buttons, get button state. I don't want button state. I want get crank angle, get crank changed. There's a button pressed thing. You can set the value pointed to by current to a bit mask indicating which buttons are currently down, pushed and released, reflect which buttons were pushed or released over the previous update cycle at a nominal rate of 50 milliseconds. Fast button presses can be missed if you just pull the instantaneous state. So that's what I want. So I want which ones have been pushed and which ones have been released. So then if the A button was pushed since the last time, then what I'll do is increase it. Otherwise, I will decrease it, right? But what is this K button left? That's an enum member. Well, I don't know what these are about. K button right. That one's equal to 2. Up. That one's equal to 4. Okay. So I'll do PD system get button state sets the value pointed to by current to a bit mask indicating which buttons are currently down. So I needed one of these PD buttons. PD buttons button equals. Oh, I see. Current PD buttons pushed PD buttons released. And we'll get button state of current pushed and released. I hope that's how you do that. Released. Fantastic. So then it'll drop it into PD buttons. So if, let's see, PD buttons and K button, no, not two ands, I want one and K button up. Oh. Oh, not PD buttons. I want pushed. Pushed. And K button up. Then what we will do is line length equals line. I want to do plus equals 1.0 f. Oh, yes, I do mean that, actually, yeah. So let's see. Oh, the line is too long. We don't have the end of it. That's fun. Let's make this 2. All right. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong. Is this... Ah! Yes, I did something wrong. Line length times the cosine. This feels not as wrong as it should be. Is this perhaps yak shaving? Well, I gotta learn these things at some point. I gotta know how to read buttons. Like, unironically, this is a good thing. And then I can just do another one of these. Like, I didn't know how to do this, and this, like, makes sense now. So if I just do, like, reading all of the things, it just works like this. So then I do button up, K button down, and then it's going to be minus equals, K button left, K button right. Get rid of this bad boy. Format it. And then it's not going to be line length. It's going to be... what was the other thing? Oh, it's going to do width. Width. Static, float, line. Actually, this was just an int. Int line width equals 1. Line width because if I do this, like, I am kind of yak shaving, but now I know kind of how to handle buttons and doing things. So like that works. This is fantastic. Oh, both say plus equals. I want minus equals on this one. So look at this. Like, I got some functionality. This doesn't exactly work. This is fucking with the angle. So clearly I'm getting something wrong here. Not actually the length. I can see the sign movement in the line, LOL. So I'm doing something wrong here at this. We've somehow misunderstood how this works. So let's close out of this, close out of this. Let's check this again. Draw a line segment given point, angle, and length. So all you need is, let's see, by definition, length times cosine of the angle gives you the adjacent x. Length times sine of the angle gives you the opposite y. Okay. So x1 equals x0 plus length times the cosine of the thing. Oh. I was multiplying them. Okay, there we go. This makes a lot more sense. So now we can make the line a lot longer or shorter or thicker. Get that thick line. This is, hold on. This is your line. Ugh. And this is the line she tells you not to worry about. So now we have the functionality we're looking for. This is all totally useless. But we learned a lot of stuff. We learned how to read buttons. We learned how to, do a little bit of math. We learned all sorts of stuff. So this is like good. This is progress. We did something, right? So then the next thing we need to do is, honestly, I like this. I'm just going to comment it out. Like, I don't know what to do with this. This will just sit in here. I'll just move it way down. Way down. All right. So we'll just ignore that exists. And we'll get rid of this. And we don't need that. Oh, and my formatting got it back. All right. Well. So anyway, back to what we were trying to do. So we have this junk text, and we need to make it wrap. So how do we make this text wrap? So the easy way to do this is to just cut it off and then put it over here. So to cut it off and then put it over there, we'll probably want to, let's see, so what we're going to do is take the old junk text bit. Actually, why don't we just separate this into lines, and then we only have to separate it into lines once, and then we can go from there. So we'll do, let's see, static lines equals, no. So it's going to be a static, and then it's going to be a pointer to an array of pointers, to characters. And that's going to be called lines. Do we not, is this supposed to be size T? Oh no, I see. I want this to be here. So we're going to have an array of lines. So what we need to do is when we open up the program, and I'm actually just going to define this below all the stuff that I've just been modifying. So then when we open up the program, what we're going to want to do is have a static function void. No, it's not. Yeah, it's going to be void. And it's going to be called split. I'm so bad at this. Split lines. So what we need to know is this stuff that was already defined for us, and then we define this. So it's going to be lines per, let's see, it's going to be chars per line equals, and this is going to be an int. So the characters per line is going to be screen width divided by text width. So that makes enough sense, and that is useless to me. I was still working on that. Thank you, formatter. Characters per line is going to be the screen width divided by the text width, and then we're going to split up. Let's just write comments here. So split junk text into let's see, split junk text into lines of width chars per line, and then, well, that's all we're doing, right? Guys, I'm really scared of the next part. I'm going to look dumb. So let's just do for. How do you do a for loop in C? Is it the same as go? For loop C. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. All right, so for int I equals 0. Defines the condition for executing block. I is less than strlen junk text, and that's KUTF-8 encoding. No, I don't need any of that. I was thinking strlength use KUTF-8 encoding, but this is all just size T stuff. And actually, we'll just do len equals strlen. Wait a second. There a signal occur. Sternlen. Constant character pointer string. Yeah, I'm just gonna do character s. Yeah, strlen junk text. Let's see. I is less than len I plus plus. So we're just going to go through every character. Probably not the best way to do this. So actually, we can do I plus equals chars per line. That way we can do it by sections, I guess. We need to get next one of these bad boys going. Music. So we start at the beginning, and then we will jump through it by characters per line. And then for each line, what we'll do is, let's see. We don't want to actually define junk text like that. We want, oh, Jesus. All right. So we'll do static char junk text equals, and not that, it's this something. As long as it goes off the thing, it doesn't really matter. Text. I don't know. I'm trying to make that thing happy. I don't even need it. I'm going to want draw text. I'm just going to comment this out. Use of undeclared identifier. All right, so int len equals that. Expected a semicolon at the end of declaration. Any semicolon there? Where is it? What do we want? 4? Am I missing something? Oh, put it on the wrong line. Haha. All right, so now that we are jumping through it, then what we'll do is, I guess we do have to make a new string for each one of these. So then How do we allocate a new string? We don't actually want... I'm really bad at working with pointers, I'm discovering. This stream was brought to you by Imperative Looping Gang. Thank you, Musius. So I gotta figure out how to... I have not thought about pointers in a long time, and I haven't thought this hard. So what I probably ought to do is figure out how many lines the whole thing is going to be, which will just be a... I guess it'll just be the length of the entire thing. Lines equals len. Junk text. Nope. I'm just going to use len. Len divided by chars per line. Incompatible integer to pointer conversion. Int. Okay. So line equals lines equals length divided by characters per line. So then what I'm going to need to do is make an array of pointers of lines length, array of pointers to pointers of size t. So this is going to be lines equals malloc. How do you use malloc? Let's just real quick see playdate open source. Not this one actually. I want a repository. Playdate console. You know where we could go? We could just go back into the examples. cd playdate SDK, C API, examples. Okay, I see. So we'll do size of, and then a pointer to a thing. I guess the size of a pointer is a uint, right? Or something? I don't know. Malloc, size of pointer to char. This is fine. Total pointer to integer conversion assigning from int to void. Oh, of course. Wait, no, that's not right. Should be size t. That should be char. C moment. Yes, this is in fact a C moment. We're having an absolute C moment. Incompatible pointer to integer conversion from assigning int to from void pointer. Malloc returns a void pointer, size t, size, aka unsigned long. Okay, so that was correct. Size of returns an unsigned long. Malloc returns size t, unsigned long. Incompatible pointer to integer conversion from int to void pointer. How to use malloc. Dynamic memory allocation in C using malloc. Fantastic. Since C is a structured language, it has some fixed rules for programming. One of them includes changing the size of an array. An array is a collection of items stored at contiguous memory locations. Blah, 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 blah. Malloc memory allocation. Pointer equals cast type. Oh, so I need the cast type. So this will be pointer to char. Char pointer pointer. Cast integer type from char to void. Expected expression. It should be char pointer pointer. No, it shouldn't. Cast use smaller integer type from char from void. Am I doing something wrong here? Lines. Wait, why is lines an int? It should be a char pointer pointer. What? Also, why isn't this having a problem? This isn't declared. Oh. Huh. This is really annoying. All right. Size of character pointer times lines to return. Lines to return. Why? What? Why is this? Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Times lines to return. There we go. So now you have the whole box, and then inside of it, we're just going to do I plus plus for int I equals 0, I is less than length, I plus plus. So then we're going to do lines at I equals. Is there like a way to like split up a string? I don't know. No, that's not gonna work. Copy from one array to another C. This is a little painful, but also kind of fun, but also a lot painful. Approach 1, simple copying of elements from one array to another using functions. Well, that's just going to be the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, copy elements. Display array after copy the elements from one array to another. Using recursion. I'm not going to do that one. Yeah, I guess if it just means I have to do it. So I don't know how to do this without copying the array. I guess if we have a memory map, there's some way of displaying something. I don't know. So what we'll do is line equals malloc size of char times chars per line char pointer line equals that. Equals line. Lines I equals line. Okay, so that works. And then we just need to copy it over into it. So let's do I times len, no, chars per line plus 1 for the what's it called? I times charge per line plus 1. So this is going to be a loop for int j equals 0. J is less than that. J plus plus. We're gonna have to figure out how to deal with the null at the end of the array. But for now, we'll just do let's see. Line I times chars per line plus j equals no. I want line at j equals that. So that will copy it over. The only problem is on the last line, if it's not exactly a multiple, it'll get to the null pointer. So I suppose we do check for null C. Does that work? Am I dumb? All right, if pointer or if not pointer are preferred. So do not depend on the definition of the symbol null. They do not expose the opportunity for accidental assignment. They're clear and succinct. No, I'm just gonna do it the easy way. All right, so let's think here plus. I want to get text wrapping before I leave this evening. And thank you for the 4 people who are sticking in there. I appreciate it. Y'all are truly good friends. Maybe not good people, but, you know, good friends. Line j equals I times chars per line plus j, which will get us through it as it goes through, I think. J equals 0. J is less than I times chars per line plus 1. So then what we want to do is, at the end of it, then we need to add a null. So then int j equals 0, and then have nothing here. How do you do nothing? How do you not have a for loop, no initialization C? For. Does that not work? Do I need to put a space? Oh, that's what I'm doing. All right. So then I will be incrementing j, so then I'll do line at j equals null. How do you do a, is it \0? There we go. Oh, oops. So that'll do it, except for dealing with if this thing is done. So inside this inner for loop, let's see, j is less than I times characters per line plus 1. So we'll do that. And I times chars per line plus 1 line at that is not equal to, oops, wrong key, \0. See moment. How goes it? Trying to get this thing wrapping text before we're done. And over here we'll do PD graphics draw text, and then it will be for I equals 0, I is less than lines let's see, I'll do size of lines, no, get array length C, size of array name divided by size of array name index 0. Okay. Divided by size of lines at 0. I plus plus. And then we'll do PD graphics draw text. Oh. Semicolon, PD graphics draw text. And then we'll do lines at I, strlen, oops, lines at I, KUTF8 encoding, 0, 0, except instead of 0, 0, it'll be 0, and then it'll be the text height. I times text height. Oh, it really doesn't like this. Int. That's a comma. Is it not like this? Size of lines. Lines is right here. Do I need to define this above it? Okay. Suspicious usage of size of pointer. Bug prone size of expression. Well, how else am I supposed to do it? I guess I could do num lines. Have an integer called num lines, and then we'll do num lines. No, that's not what I want. I want lines to return. That's going to be num lines. Num lines And this will change to num lines. This will be, oops, num lines. The music stopped again. I need to come up with a better way to do this. Anyway, graphics. Oh, look at that. It's not mad at me. Well, that's fun. All right, let's see why it breaks. All right. So, it's not drawing shit. Well, that's fun. Let's see if there's some print line debugging that I can do. Print. Void playdate system log to console. All right. Let's just do one of these. Oh, I need to get that playdate system thing. Oh, you know what? I'm not calling split lines. That's why I'm not getting any errors. If it's an init, split lines. And now it's mad at me because I didn't define split lines. Static void split lines. Takes nothing. There we go. I wasn't calling the function. That's why it wasn't. That's why it was working. There we go, guys. See, this is what I'm talking about. malloc invalid size unsorted. All right, and it's not quitting. All right, let's just Control C that bad boy. Okay, well, I've crashed it. pkill -9 play date simulator. Well, that didn't work. What's the command you run to see all your running processes? Top? Playdate simulator. Okay. pkill -9 playdate simulator. Simulate. There we go. So we get that fixed. All right, malloc invalid size unsorted. So something in this undecipherable nonsense. The malloc didn't work. Invalid size unsorted. Malloc invalid size unsorted C. Means the program is going out of bounds in allocated memory. Maybe a string or dynamic array or something you've allocated itself. It's probably not an array. Debugger such as GDB. Puh, debugger. X1 is a 100 character buffer, so you generously allocate 101. X1 doesn't agree with you. All right. Well, it's not working. Thanks for tuning into the stream. I appreciate it. It's been real. I suppose I got to learn more C before I can come back to this. So this will be fun. I'll catch you guys on the flip. See ya. Oh, I got to. There we go. It's been real. Adios.